Here's a composition problem for practice. A spherical balloon is being filled with air. It is being inflated such that the radius is growing 2 inches per second. A, what function represents the growth of the radius? Well, what we know is that the radius is growing at 2 inches per second. And we can go back to the original idea of distance equals rate times time. And so that's what we're going to say here. So if we think about distance equals rate times time, there's something to just write down there. There we go. Distance equals rate times time. What we're talking about is the distance being the radius. So I could say, well, I know that the radius is equal to 2t. Or in other words, I could say r of t, the radius of t is equal to 2t. Now we keep rolling with that statement. It says, what function represents the growth of the balloon's volume? Well, the first thing we need to know is what is the equation of a spherical balloon? So if I think about the volume of a sphere, I know that it is 4/3 pi r cubed. And this is a statement that would say V of r equals 4/3 pi r cubed. But what we're looking for is what is a function represents the growth of the balloon's volume. And the growth of the balloon's volume, which we know is determined by the radius. We also know that the radius is determined by time. So really what we can ask is, well, the volume of the balloon is based off the radius, which is based off of time. Or in other words, we can then start putting things in. We can say, well, 4/3 pi, and then r, which we know that r is 2t. So I can plug 2t in there. And then cube that. So now what I have is a statement that's really much more based off of time. So the volume of the balloon based on the time it has been being blown up. And I would just simply say, okay, well, 4/3 pi, 2 cubed is 8, t cubed, okay? And then all I gotta do is clean up this 8 and that 4/3. So I say the volume of the balloon based on the time is gonna be 8 times 4, which is 32, over 3 pi t cubed. Okay. Now it says, what is the volume of the balloon after 4 seconds? Okay, so after 4 seconds, I now have an equation for the volume of the balloon based off of time. So all I need to do is say, well, V of 4 equals to 32 over 3 times pi times 4 cubed. And if I do this, I want to make my life as easy as possible. I'm going to go to Desmos. And I'm going to go ahead and make my calculation in Desmos. Let's go back to what that statement said. It said 32 over 3 pi 4 cubed. 32 over 3 pi with 4 cubed. So the volume of that balloon would be 2,144.66. So volume after 4 seconds would be 4,000, whoops, let's go back to that, 2,144.66. 2,144.66. And we're talking about inches. It says it right here. So it'd be inches cubed.